Our next guest plays a high-class escort in the Showtime series Secret Diary of a Call Girl. Take a look.
Are you a model? Yeah. Stroke actress. Stroke physical therapist. Stroke counsellor. Stroke. I'll put self-employed.
Please welcome the lovely Billie Piper. Billie, come Thank God you're here.
Hi.
Billie Piper. Billie Piper. What a cool name, Billie Piper.
Do you
Can I
like
just
that?
say that throughout the interview?
Yeah,
Billie Piper?
of course. Yeah, together.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And Billie Piper, thank you for doing this show.
No, thank you for
Not this
having
show,
me.
the Call Girl, the hooker
Oh,
show.
I see.
Thank you for doing this.
I can understand why you're
This is
saying.
fascinating. This is from a real-life chronicles of a real
Yeah.
woman named Belle. An escort.
Her name's Belle. She wrote a blog and compiled that and turned it into a book, and we adapted it for screen.
And she was an escort?
Yeah, high class.
A high-class escort.
There's
and
a difference.
What is the difference really is
money.
Money, right?
Right.
What does a cheap hooker go for?
Oh, I don't know.
What is the least amount of money you can have sex for? Does anybody, do you know this?
A tenner.
Hold on, Joe, do you know this?
You can get a...
Like 50 bucks?
You can get a... for 50 bucks.
Really? Yeah. Wow. But a high class, how much from a high class?
Well, it depends on what you're doing. So standard, an hour is probably about £300.
The woman?
You're right.
Thank you.
But you know,
I've got some weird friends.
they can make anything up to like 1,500.
1,500
for the night.
For the night.
Yeah, and that's a slightly different service. That's called the. Well, I'll ask you about it later.
You'll ask me about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, because I'll know. But Belle, who you play in the show, she was a high-class escort.
Yeah.
And could command 1,500 for the night,
Oh, yeah,
right?
she was getting the big bucks.
And did you meet her? Because you
Yeah.
play her. Mm-hmm. So what was that like?
Well, it was very covert because she's very funny about, you know, her privacy for obvious reasons. She has a different profession now, and she wants to keep her anonymity. Although that's kind of ironic considering she wrote a book and a blog and all of those things. But it's, you know, she likes it. So, so we met up and she was great. She was very well turned out and very elegant, amazing rack, really hot. Yeah.
Well, for 300 pounds, she better.
She better have.
Right?
Right.
And what did she tell you? How, what's interesting about your character, who is equally portrayed between Hannah and Belle, is this duality of life for a woman who is commanding a high, crazy sort of sex life for these men, yet is also living this alter life.
Yeah.
It's not this sort of streetwalker.
No, it's a very different, you know, it's a different thing altogether.
Did she have a real a family life? She went to school?
Yeah, she was really well educated. She had a degree and everything, and she, I think she was quite distant from her family for obvious reasons, that you have to lie endlessly. It's like having an affair, I imagine. It's like a dual, yeah, woo.
Yeah.
A dual life, like you say. And so she has family members and, you know, but I think it's really, the hardest thing is that it's really tough to form a genuine, intimate relationship with a guy because, you know, you either hide it from him or you confess and he goes, it's over.
Right.
Or maybe we could incorporate this. Which is, that has happened.
I'm sure it has.
Yeah.
Did you only speak to Belle in...
No.
You spoke to just all sorts of hookers?
Yeah. Well, no, not all sorts, only high-end, but, you know, lots of different girls, older women, younger, more so, well, impressionable girls.
Right.
Yeah.
And the privacy, let's get back to the privacy, because that's really... I just wanted to work that into a sentence. I don't know. Okay. When I watch your show, I notice so many of the nude scenes that you do.
Sure.
And thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Again, no question there. Just a comment.
Just a statement.
Just a comment.
Okay.
And is that difficult for you, the topicality of this?
Surprisingly, no. I thought I'd have more of an issue with it.
It's very racy watching the show.
Really
Showtime.
racy.
And,
Yeah.
You're naked a lot, are you not?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think when you're playing a prostitute, you've got to accept that there's a certain level of nudity required.
Right. It's like your uniform, your skin.
It is.
Your boobs.
It is. I mean, there's not that much boob.
Yeah.
A little more arse.
So there could always be a little more boobs than arse.
Yeah, arse.
When I watch the show, also, the language, there, you use a lot of sort of British sex slang.
Yeah.
That I don't, like cheeky you say a lot.
Yeah,
or
cheeky.
Like bonk, I guess.
Bonk is like
having
shagging,
sex.
like sex.
What is cheeky?
Cheeky is just kind of cute and seductive, but not trashy, you know, not seedy and sordid.
What are some of the other sort of call girl
what about,
lingo? I want to write these down.
What do you think of... Okay, there's one called sploshing.
Sploshing?
What do you think that is?
Use it in a sentence. Would the hooker say to me, are
do
you
you want me to splosh... would you be into sploshing?
I would say yes.
Really?
I would say, hold on, let me get my snorkel.
Well, that would work.
That would, what is it?
It's basically making love to food, but it's not like it's not like dipping sauce or condiments.
And is that extra
like,
if I get the high class one? Is that extra to slosh?
No. That's just, you know, you pay your standard rate and you get that, you know, that's something you want to do. She has to sit on the side and kind of go, amazing.
Right. When you spoke to Belle, did she say, guys, who are the guys buying high class girls? I mean, obviously, other than governors.
Yeah, other than governors. I know. That's actually our first episode of season 2. It's the same kind of deal.
Oh, really? Based on...
No, it was just a weird coincidence that the All Big Story came out here and we'd already tackled that one. But
is it run-of-the-mill dudes who get the high-class stuff?
Well,
you got to be wealthy, I guess.
Yeah, but it's also guys who, you know, you get your kind of egomaniacs, businessmen, very wealthy guys, and then you get men who just can't get laid. Or... Yeah.
Otherwise known as my friends. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
And it's sad, you know.
Well...
It's kind of sad, but it's okay. You know, or guys that have never had sex before and want to learn how to do it. And
yes.
So
it's an expensive night
lesson.
course, if
right,
you will.
right, yeah.
I wish this show were 4 hours.
Me too.
I really...
I could talk all night.
So could I. Let's do that.
Okay.
But we have to end this part of it, and then we'll figure that part out.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. Congratulations. It's a fascinating show. I'm glad it was the second season.
Second season on Showtime. The premiere